students, Sairam. This is Megha Miss here, and today we are going to start with a new lesson, that is lesson number 4, effects of electric current. This is our session 1. Yes, in the last session students, I have completed with our first lesson, that is gravitation. I told you we will be doing a revision, but we will do revision at the end. We will continue with our lesson, and today we are going to start with a new lesson, that is lesson number 4, effects of electric current. Okay students, now before starting this chapter, I would like to tell you, please go through the chapter from your 9th standard textbook which we had. Okay, that is the lesson number 3 which we studied, was related with the current, electricity. Yes, many topics, definitions from there you study, so that it would be easier for you to study this lesson. Okay students, please go through your 9th standard 3rd lesson. Okay, now we will see what we are going to study. The first concept what we are going to study students, that is about the electric current. Yes, all of you have studied this concept in 9th standard. Okay, so we'll just revise it. What is electric current students? An electric current is the flow of electrons, okay, through a conductor. We need a conductor. Okay, so any metals can behave as a conductor, you know this. So an electric current is the flow of electrons, okay, through a conductor. Quantitatively, current, we write it as capital I, is defined as the charge passing through a conductor in unit time. Okay, so quantitatively, how I will define current I? Current I will define it as the charge passing through a conductor in unit time. Okay students, you have studied all these definitions in your 9th standard. I am just revising before we start with this lesson. Okay, so we need this, what is meant by a electric current. Okay, now the next topic, an electric circuit. Now this also electrical circuit you have studied in 9th standard. Yes, you have studied various symbols also. That chart was given to you where all symbols were given which we use to draw the electrical circuit. Okay, so I'll just revise it again. We will see a continuous path of an electric current through a conducting wires. What you require? Conducting wires. Okay, connected to the two end points of a cell. So you require a cell. Okay, and it will be having two end points. And other resistances is called an electric circuit. So other resistances means you will have a resistor, you will have a key. Yes, you remember, you can see here I have shown one electrical circuit diagram also beside. Yes, so a circuit is depicted by a figure. This figure shows how different components are to be connected in the circuit by using special symbols for each of the components. So we use a special symbols to show these components. Okay, such a figure is called an electric circuit diagram. What you call student it as? Electric circuit diagram. Yes, so here you can see, here we have an electric circuit diagram. You can see an ammeter is attached, right? For what we use this ammeter students? Yes, you remember we have studied this. We use it to measure the current. Yes, I. Then we have a voltmeter which is attached in a circuit. Voltmeter we use to measure the potential difference, if you remember. Yes, then what you have? A resistance you have. To increase or decrease the resistance, you can be increased or decreased using a resistor. Okay, then what you have? An electrical cell you have. Yes, you show it with the symbol. This, what you have? One big line and one small line. This is the way we show. Yes, and you show positive big line and negative as a small line. Then you have the conducting wires. All these are the conducting wires. You have a key which we show it as a dot. Okay students, so I hope you have understood how the electric circuit looks like. Yes, now we will continue. I hope you understood what is the electric circuit diagram and what is meant by an electric circuit. Okay, now we will continue. Let's see. Now we will see the energy transfer in an electric circuit. How this energy transfer takes place. Okay students, so see here. If a charge Q, okay, what I have taken the charge Q, flows from A to B. Can you see this points A and this is point B? So a charge is flowing from A to B. Okay. So work, what will be the work done, students? VABQ. Okay, what we are going to show the work done as VAB means the voltage across AB into Q. Okay, has been done on Q while going from A to B. Okay, so this much work is done on Q, that is VABQ, when it was traveling from A to B point. Okay, students. Now refer to the chapter 3 of standard 9. As I told you before only, please open that chapter and again you go through all the terms. Okay. From where does the energy come to do this work? Now from where this energy is coming? Whatever the energy will be required now for this flow. Yes, from where it is coming? We'll see that. The source of energy is the cell. Okay, students, who is going to give this energy? The cell will provide this energy. Okay, the cell gives this energy through the charge Q to the resistance where work VABQ is performed. Okay, students, so the cell will give the energy to the charge Q. Okay, cell will transfer its energy to the charge Q and to the resistor, then that will be transferred to the resistance where the work, where is the resistance? This here will be the resistance. Okay, where the work VABQ will be done. Okay, students, if the charge Q flows from A to B in time t, now we have some time limit, so we are taking it as time t. Okay, that is the work is performed in time t, then during that time the energy VABQ is given to the resistor. Okay, students, so what is happening? Again, whatever, if a time limit is there, then that whatever the energy is there, that is VABQ, it is given to the resistor. Means it is here only, that energy will be here near the resistors. To the resistor the energy will be there. Okay, students, so now we will see, that is, yes, what happens to this energy? This energy is received by the resistor and is converted into heat energy. What happens? As we have seen, if in time t this charge Q is flowing from A to B, work done is on the resistor. Okay, then what it is given to them is whatever the work is done, VABQ, it is on the resistor, it is given to the resistor. Okay, and what this energy will happen to? This energy, when will be received by the resistor, it is converted into heat energy. Okay, students, and the temperature of the resistor is increased. Did you understand, student? So when the Q charge is flowing from A to B in time t, okay, so the work done, that is VABQ. Okay, that is the charge, whatever the energy is there given by the charge, it is given to the resistor. Okay, transferred to the resistor. And what this energy the resistor will do? It will convert it into heat energy. Yes, and once it is converted into heat energy, what will happen, students? The temperature of the resistor will increase. Okay, I hope you understood this. Yes, now we will continue. Okay, now see here what they are saying now. P, that is electrical power. Have you studied this in 9th standard? Yes, we have studied power, that is the electrical power. That we have studied energy upon time required. Energy means here the work what is done. Yes, so W upon T you studied last year, right? So here we have it as, we are taking it as energy upon time. Yes, what is our energy? That is the work done, students, here. VAB Q upon T. Is this equation you got? Yes. So now what we have done? VAB Q upon T. I hope till here you understood. Now is equal to VAB I. Okay, Q upon T you can see here, since Q upon T is equal to I. Okay, so it has become VAB I. I hope you understood this. Okay, now the source of energy, the cell gives in time t the energy P into T to the resistor. How much energy it is given? P multiplied by T. Okay. If I is the current flowing continuously through the circuit, the heat produced in the resistor in time t will be, so how we can give it as H is equal to P into T. Okay. Now, you know the P value. What we have got the P value, students, here? VABI. Yes. So, we have substituted it here. VABI multiplied by T. Okay. This is our equation 2. Okay. Now, according to the Ohm's law, you have studied Ohm's law last year? Yes. V is equal to IR. Here we are taking voltage across AB point, right? So, we write VAB is equal to I into R. Okay, this is our equation 3. Understood till here, student? Yes, we will see this equation. See here. Now you know, instead of this VB, can I put I into R? See here, I have put here I into R. Okay, and is this remaining IT is there? Yes, can you see this I and this T? Did you understand this? Okay, so what it has become? I square into RT. That is our equation 5. I hope you understood this. Okay, now see here. Just a moment. So students, I hope you understood the 5th equation. Okay, 4th equation again we will see how the V square AB came into T upon R. Can you see here? It is VAB. I'll write here is equal to IR. Can I calculate I value from this? Yes. What it will become? VAB upon R. Right? It will become VAB upon R. Yes. So, this VAB upon R, I will substitute it here in equation 2. Okay. When I do so, what I am going to get, students? I am going to get H. Yes. Once a moment. I'll get H is equal to VAB multiplied by VAB upon R into T. Can you see this? I hope you are understanding. Okay. So, VAB will become V square AB and this T upon R will come. Okay. This T upon R will come. So, can you see T upon R is there? Yes. So, that is our equation 4. And equation 5, I hope you understood. Okay. So, we will move to the next. That is H is equal to I square R into T is called Joule's law of heating. What you call, student, it as Joule's law of heating. What is the equation? H is equal to I square multiplied by R into T. Okay. So, unit of electrical power. Now, we will see the unit. P is equal to VAB into I. Power is equal to VAB into I, that is volt into ampere. Yes, you know voltage is volt and for current we write it as ampere. Yes, so 1 volt into 1 ampere, okay, is equal to what we will write? Volt, how you are going to write it, student, as 1 joule upon 1 coulomb multiply by 1 coulomb upon 1 second. Yes, all these things when you open your 9th standard textbook you will understand this. Okay, so 1 volt, what is the unit, students? 1 joule upon 1 coulomb multiply by 1 coulomb upon 1 second. Okay, so that is this, my coulomb and coulomb got cancelled. I got 1 joule upon 1 second, which we call it as watt. This also you have studied in the 9th standard. Yes, so 1 joule upon 1 second is our watt. Okay, so thus the unit of the electrical power is 1 watt, or we say it only as watt. Okay, students, I hope you understood all these concepts. Yes, please go through the electric current chapter in 9th standard. You will understand this. Yes, we have studied this there also. Now the next we are going to study, that is the heating effect of electric current. Now what is this heating effect? When a resistor is connected in an electrical circuit, heat is produced. Now only we saw it is due to the current. Yes, this is known as heating effect of current. This, whatever the heat is produced because of the current, we say it as the heating effect of current. Now equipment such as water boiler, electric cooker, electric bulb make use of the heating effect of electric current. So they all use this heating effect of electric current. Electrical conductors having higher resistivity are used here. Okay, those who have very higher resistivity, we are using them. For example, a coil made up of an alloy nichrome is used in the electrical heater cooker as a resistor. What we are using, students? An alloy of nichrome, while a tungsten wire is used in an electric bulb. Because of the current, this wire is heated to nearly 3400 degrees Celsius and emits light. So this much temperature it can be heated. Okay, this tungsten, this nichrome, they have very high melting points like 3400 degrees Celsius. So they get heated at this temperature and they emit light. Okay, tungsten emit lights. Okay, so the hot wire and yes, just a moment. The hot wire also radiates heat to a certain extent. So when the wire becomes hot, it also radiates some amount of the heat. Okay, students, did you understand? So we are using the conductors. These are conductors, nichrome, tungsten. These are the conductors which are having very high resistivity, because of which we can heat them to nearly 3400 degrees Celsius. This is for tungsten I am talking about, and hence it can emit light. I hope you understood this. Yes. Now the next part, you can see here coiled coil. These are the diagrams which are pictures basically which are shown. This is the coiled coil, coil solenoid type, coil of a cooker, you can see coil of a heater, you can see how it is made. Yes, these coils are of different, it can be made up of alloy, but these are the different conductors which have very high resistivity. Okay, students, I hope you understood till here. Yes, now see here. Next you can see the electric bulb. So this is the diagram for the electric bulb. You are going to study this diagram. Okay, students. So you have a glass bulb, solenoid type coil it is there inside. You have vacuum, nitrogen otherwise. You have a glass support. You have a screw cap. Okay, student. So here the tungsten which is there, you can see solenoid type coil which is of tungsten, which can be heated to a very high temperature of 3400 degrees Celsius. So and it starts emitting the light at that temperature when it is heated. Okay, students, I hope you understood this diagram for the bulb also. Okay, we'll continue. So several times we hear or read about a building catching fire due to short circuit. You must be knowing about this. Yes. Sometimes if we switch on an equipment in our house, the electrical fuse wire melts and the electric supply shut down. Yes, it sometimes happen, and now you have drips at your home, that if the power load is more, that drip automatically it put ups down and the electricity goes. Yes, so that is only it is said that when the electrical fuse wire it starts melting, what will happen? Automatically the electrical supply will shut down. Let us discuss about the cause briefly. Now why this happens? The home electrical connections consist of live, neutral and earth wires. This also you have studied last year. Remember, 3 types of wires are there in our home electrical connections. The live and the neutral wires have potential difference of 220 volts. Okay, students. Then the earth is connected to the ground. The earth wire is connected to the ground due to a fault in the equipment or in a plastic coating of the live and the neutral wire gives the way the 2 wires come in contact with each other and a large current flows through it producing heat. So large amount of current is flowing if these 2 wires get attached to each other. Why? Because there can be something fault in the plastic coating or in the equipment. Okay. If any inflammable material such as wood, cloth, plastic, etc. exist around that place, it can catch fire. Okay. Therefore, a fuse wire is used as a precautionary measure. Which wire we are using, students? A fuse wire. We have learnt about fuse wire in the previous standard. Yes, in 9th of course. As soon as high current flows in a circuit, the fuse wire melts and breaks the circuits and it stops of any of the accidents which can occur. Okay, so we are using a fuse wire. Why? Because fuse wire, what will happen if this amount, when this live and the neutral wire, if they come in contact, they produce lot of heat. Who is going to absorb that heat? This fuse wire. Okay, and it will start melting, and what will happen? The circuit is broken down. Yes, because of this fuse wire, and any of the accidents which can be caused can be stopped. Okay, I hope you understood. Yes. Now, many times, particularly in the summer season, huge electrical power is used in the evenings due to the home lighting, fans, air conditioners, use of electricities in the shops, etc. As a result, excessive current is drawn from the transformer supplying the electricity. And if the capacity of the transformer is insufficient, its fuse wire melts and the supply gets shut down. Okay students, such events occur due to overloading. Now only I told you, if there is a overloading, the transformer capacity is less. In our buildings also it happens. You see, sometime it happens that the electricity shut down. Why? Because of the more amount of load. Yes, so what will happen? The fuse wire melts and the supply gets shut down. Okay students, I hope you understood this. Yes, so these are the different types of fuses which we use. You can see we have this different types. You can see at your home also, you can check out which type of fuse we are using. Okay, so these are the different types of fuses which we have. Yes, you can see the picture, it is given in your text also. Okay, so today we have come to the end of this presentation. So today we studied about, students, electric current you studied. Yes, you studied the electric circuit diagram, you studied different components, they are attached to each other, and then an electric circuit is formed. Then we studied the energy transfer in an electric circuit. Through this we studied the Joule's law of heating. Yes, you will remember that. H is equal to I square RT. Then what we have studied? Heating effect of the electric current. We studied three types of the wires are there: live, neutral and earth. Live and neutral wire, they are having a potential difference of 220 volts. But if they get attached to each other, they produce more amount of heat which can be absorbed by the fuse wire. It melts and it shut down the electrical supply, and hence any of the accidents which can be caused can be, we can say, we can avoid them. Okay students, so I hope you understood today's part. We'll meet in the next presentation. Thank you. Sai Ram, take care.